This is Josiah Plays Kingdom Death Monster on Tabletop Simulator. Alright, we are on our new campaign, the People of the Skull campaign. We have our fledgling settlement known as Marrowhaven, which has a population of 15 souls. One person has died so far. And we have chosen some evil-ass principles. We are going to cannibalize our dead. We're going to only accept the strongest babies. And we are going to accept the darkness. We've innovated a hovel, some paint, language, and drums so far. I think it's appropriate that our first innovation was drums, though, with the skull being played by a bone. That seems pretty thematic for the people of the skull. And right now we're going forth to hunt the screaming antelope. These are my 4 survivors. Blood Skull, who you see there. Blood Skull, who's got some monster grease and some bone darts. Then you've got Bone Grinder. This gentleman. All he's got is some darts. These people are completely fucking naked, by the way, because they eschew the use of any armor or weapons which do not contain bone. And unfortunately, almost all of the armor and weapons do not contain bone. Then we've got Bone Tree, my presumptive tank. He looks very smug. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got monster grease, he's got bone darts, he's got a lion skin cloak, which does have bone in it for some reason. And he's got a lion headdress, which he can wear on his head, because we just hunted successfully a white lion. He can wear it on his head because it doesn't count as armor. And we've got Ghost Skull, my leader, the leader of my group, who has a bunch of good stuff, including an actual dagger. She is quixotic or chaotic. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. We're about to depart, so if you're insane, you depart, gain 1 survival and 1 strength token. So we're going to gain that right now. That'll give her extra 1 strength for this fight. She's also a leader. When she encourages somebody, she gets a +1 speed token. They get a +1 speed token. And she is the Orator of Death. She can give insanity to everybody in the group. And Bone Tree, our tank, can tumble out of the way of things. Bone Grinder has a shattered jaw, so he can't encourage people, but he's tough. He takes more bleeding to kill him than anyone else, so that's nice. And Blood Skull, also an Orator of Death. Orator of Death seems very thematic with our whole People of the Skull thing, too. And we are going forth to hunt this. It's called the Screaming Antelope, and as you can see, it's very scary and has a giant fucking mouth in its belly. A huge open mouth. Look how big it is, too. That thing's a motherfucker. There was once a fearsome monster that was trained by the hand to be a steed for the goblin. We don't know who the goblin is. However, upon smelling its new master, the monster's mind shattered and it ran into the unknown, foaming at the mouth and biting the noses off the stone-faced floor. So this is the creature that we will be fighting, the Screaming Antelope. The first thing we need to do is the hunt phase. In the hunt phase, we move along the hunt board to try to actually get to where we can fight the creature. So it gets an event card on 2 and 4. In addition to that, we put basic hunt events on these spaces. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get past Overwhelming Darkness, so But just in case... Alright, there's no way we're going to get further than that, because this is a level 1 antelope. If you look at the hunt board thing there, it shows, see where it says 1, 2, 3 on there? Well, that's where... Excuse me. Wow. Just a second. Sorry about that. If you look at the 1, 2, and 3, that shows where he starts on the hunt board, depending on whether he's a level 1 antelope, a 2, or a 3 that we're hunting. And we're hunting level 1, because we're low-level characters. So that means he starts right here. However, different events on the hunt board can cause him to move forward or backwards. And we move forward one space at a time, resolving the events that we come to, until such time as we actually land on the antelope. But I know the antelope that has like one event that causes him to move back 3, I think, so then we could have to go further. For the most part, these events are bad and dangerous for us, so we don't want to go through too many events, ideally. And we definitely don't want to go through overwhelming darkness, because it's really bad. Alright, here we go. I have to decide who's going forward each time. So, we're going to start with Ghost Skull, our leader. She will take the 4 on the first space. We got a dead antelope. The survivors are struck by the scent of rotting meat wafting from a hulking corpse ahead. Whoa. Oh my god, we're about to take pipe. Roll 1d10. On a result of 8+, the survivors are startled by the arrival of the antelope's killer, a white lion. End the hunt now. Start a showdown with a white lion 1 level higher than the quarry. That means we'd have to fight a level 2 white lion, which is much, much tougher than a level 1 white lion and would probably destroy us. If the survivors prevail, gain the normal showdown rewards and 2 screaming antelope resources. Otherwise, roll a random hunt event. So we need to roll under an 8. Now, we can use survival here, so if need be, but we don't have very much survival at the moment. Alright, a 1. We're good. We're good. We're good. So now we have to roll a random hunt event, though, and these can be very bad. A 43. Oh, I know what I did with these dice in my other game that I haven't done this time. I like to upscale my percentage dice so that I can see them from... We got a 40, so I can just roll these and I could easily see, like, that's a 77. Okay, but we got a 43. So we go to the hunt events. What if it was a level 3 antelope? Would it be a level 4 lion? Well, there are no level 4 lions. But a level 3 would be bad enough, because that's when you get into the legendary version, and that's a bad day for you. What did we get, a 43? Fresh kill. Circling carrion birds point the survivors to a freshly killed monster. The local scavengers try to defend their dinner, but the survivors can fight them off to claim their prize. Each survivor rolls 2d10 and adds their hunt experience to the result. The highest scoring survivor slays the most scavengers and claims the putrid prize for themselves. Gain 1 random basic resource. This is nice because it's another chance to get a skull. Well, it doesn't matter to me which one of my people actually does it. Like, it's kind of irrelevant. We're gonna get a basic resource anyway. But, we're gonna do it. 2... 2... Damn it. Just roll 2, please. $11, 12, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, 8. Alright, it's Bloodskull, our former leader, who had to skip the last hunt. She is the greatest hunter among us at the time, and she gets a random basic resource. And it is sadly a love juice, not a skull. But I'll take it. Hold on 1 second. Gotta blow my nose again. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, yeah, the hunt. I am the hunt master! And if you haven't seen, this is what our crew looks like, except we don't have the cloths covering us. My group is just naked, and they don't have those stones either. This is our crew. Back left is Stone Grinder, or no, Bone Grinder. Back right is Bone Tree. Forward left is Bloodskull, and forward right is Ghost Skull. Alright. Well, that's that space. Now we move forward. Alright, we roll on the random table. A 40. Dream. The event revealer... Oh, by the way, the event revealer this time is Bone Tree. The event revealer has a dream of the upcoming hunt. They stand before the great beast, weapon ready, but it strikes him down. If the event revealer has 3+ courage, which he does not, he gains an evasion token. That would have been nice. Otherwise, the dream is rattling. He takes some brain damage to his insanity. Alright. Nobody in our group has that much courage yet. Next, it's gonna be Bone Grinder that is our event revealer. And this time we get Devoured Grounds. The stone-faced ground is littered with the leavings of ravenous, passing beasts. Half-eaten acanthus plants are strewn everywhere. If any survivor has 3+ understanding, the survivors may skip the next hunt space. I don't think any of us have 3 understanding yet. No, not even close. Otherwise, we have to roll another random hunt event. A 78. Dead Great Game Hunter. The survivors find a corpse dressed in brightly colored clothing, clutching something to its chest. The event revealer may choose to investigate. If they do, they gain +1 courage and roll on the table. Ooh, gaining courage is good. Although bad things can happen to you here. Bad things can happen to you. Well, we're gonna do it. Our event revealer here was who? It was, Bone Grinder. So, Bone Grinder gains a courage. And now he has to roll to see how screwed we are. A 6. That's probably not too bad. His hands are empty. If your settlement shows cannibalize, gain a random basic resource. Yes! Or we could gain understanding if we had chosen graves. But we chose cannibalize. So basically, we're eating this motherfucker. And hopefully pulling a skull off of him. Another love juice? Why do all the dead bodies in this world have love juice? What is this love juice that we're feeding to people to make them mate? Alright, we'll take it. All the love. All the juice. Well, the good news is we've reached the antelope. So now we immediately start the hunt. Boop, 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 boop. Now we immediately start the showdown. Now we set up the showdown board. So he's going to start in the middle. We've got to set up 6 acanthus plants. Acanthus. I can't understand why there's so much acanthus. Now these things like to eat acanthus. And 2 random terrain cards set up normally. We're going to have a survivor corpse and an ore vein. And now we pull all of that stuff out of the terrain tiles. We need 6 of these, so I'm gonna make some more. And now these all need to be set up within 4 squares of the monster in the middle, as indicated by that diagram. All these acanthus plants. So, the thing is, I don't want the antelope eating these, because when the antelope eats them, well, 1, they get used up, and I can't get them, and 2, the antelope heals a wound whenever it eats one of these. So I want to get these off the board myself as quickly as possible. So we set up ourselves at the 2 edges of the board. So what I'm going to do is come in... The acanthus plants are going to be here. And they're going to be here. Actually, no. Let's just set them all up on one side. I'm missing one. Am I not? Nope, that's 6. And then we're all going to set up right over here. And what we're going to do in the beginning is just rush forward and try to grab all the acanthus plants as quickly as possible. Survivor corpse has to be 6 spaces from all of the terrain, and so does the ore vein. Alright, we're gonna put those there and there. It would be nice to... Ooh, you can get... Oh, if you roll a 6+ on this, you get a skull! Oh my god. Okay, we gotta go for that thing. For sure. In the ore, you can get iron. Which I actually don't care about at all, because I'm not even gonna be able to make anything that uses iron. Or wear anything. I don't think. Not much, anyway. I'll probably get it anyway, though, just because sometimes you can use a generic resource for some other purpose. So there's a big patch of acanthus right here. There's a dead survivor, and there's a very creepy-looking ore vein. Unfortunately, no Nox. You have to interact with them before the monster dies. Now, I don't understand why that is, but I guess it's like, oh, the area is so dangerous, we have to get out of here so quickly afterwards or something. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. This is the one where if anybody has 20 plus insanity at the end, we lose them. But all of our insanities are low, and our survivals are quite low as well. Alright, Ghost Skull's the one that's going to go after that skull. She's going to start right on the edge here. And go for that. Oh, these have to be 6 apart. I guess we're gonna have, I guess we're gonna have Bone Grinder grab this ore in the beginning. And then everybody else, the other two, are gonna head straight for these acanthus plants in the beginning. Alright, that's where we're gonna start the fight. So yeah. I think we're all set up here. Anything else? Anything else? Nope. Okay. However, as this is a normal showdown and not a nemesis encounter, the monster goes first. We need to set up his AI deck. As a level 1, he gets 7 basic and 3 advanced cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Shuffle up his hit location deck. He's got a toughness of 8 and a movement of 6, and he tramples. Nox is going to be all happy. Trample. It's like a stampede. Instinct is graze, yeah. Whenever the antelope collides with the survivor, we take damage. Which sucks. Because I think this guy moves around a whole lot, and then he's going to be running over people constantly and stampeding them. Alright. Well, it's the antelope's turn, so let's see what it does first. Ram! If only we had a pillar here. It's gonna ram the pillar. Furthest threat in range. Well, they're all equidistant, I think. That's not true. These two in the middle are the closest, because then you don't have to count up or down any squares. So he's gonna come ram our buddy. Oh, in range though. None of them are in range. So then it's just furthest survivor. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's as far as it can go, though. Of course, now it's between us and the plants. And it can't do anything else because it moved its full movement and it can't attack anybody, so that's all it can do for now. Ramming the pillars, that's right. Alright, let's start with Ghost Skull. Can we get a skull? Can we get a skull? She's going to interact with the survivor corpse, trying to roll a d10. She'll use survival to increase this if need be. A 3. Oh, I think she's going to have to spend all of her survival. Yeah, she's got to spend all 3 points to make that a 6. Which is not the best to have her completely out of survival, but it's worth it to get a skull. She gains 3 insanity. No target equals squares, but there is a target. It's only no target if there's literally no target. I don't understand how there could be no target in this case for the survivor, unless somebody had used a thing that made them untargetable for the round. Because when you go to furthest survivor, that could pretty much be anybody. But if for some reason there was nobody that was targetable, then it would graze. We get a skull, folks. That's going to help us out a lot. I need to make sure I shuffle that, because I just put a skull on top of the deck, and if I don't shuffle, that would be massive cheating mode. Alright. That's going to help us out a lot if we can survive this fight. Alright. She's also got a movement action. Oh, she can't surge. And she can't Orator of Death because she just used her action to do that. But she could move. Okay, so now we take this off the board. Take this and add it back to the train deck. 1, 2, 3. What's her speed now? I think they all have a really good speed. 7, 7, 7, 7. Yeah, nice. 7. She's gonna move over here. We're gathering shit before we even fight this antelope. Let it do its thing. Okay, great. That's her turn. Let's go to Bone Grinder, who's gonna interact with the ore vein. I don't really care what happens on this one, though. Oh, I got an 8. Got an iron. Archive this terrain. Range resource. Iron. Cool. Now he gets his movement. And he's going to move all the way over here. And that means it is time for Blood Skull and Bone Tree to go. Now, Bone Tree is not going to start gathering. He's going to rush up and start fighting. Let's see what Blood Skull can do. She's got a movement of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She could come to here and interact with this acanthus plant right here, so she's going to. We need some acanthus pretty badly as well. 9. Oh, that's a great roll. Gained a fresh acanthus. Wonderful. And this one comes off the board. That'll be really helpful. Alright, what actions do we have? We have dash. Don't we have dash with this group? Yeah, we do. I just forgot to mark it on hers. Dash is nice because you can actually avoid an attack with dash if you time it right. There's different times in the game where you have survival opportunities. And it's a little bit complex. I don't always remember them all perfectly. Sometimes I have to look it up. But one of them is during a monster flow. This is what a monster flow is. Look at this card. You see how it says pick target and it's got 3 things listed? And then it has a line with a little upside down white triangle in it? That line with the little white triangle in it is a flow. And anytime there's a flow, that's a little break in the monster's AI where you could use survival actions if you want. So what that means is, let's say it picks its target, right? Boom. It has selected its target. Now there's a flow. That target could then choose to immediately dash away and get out of range, And the creature might not be able to attack at all because its target is no longer valid. And it doesn't get to pick a new target because it already picked one. And I know you can specifically do that because it has an example in the rulebook of you specifically doing that. So dash can be a really good action to save your ass. Alright, let's talk about Bone Tree, whose turn it is. Now, is he going to go for plants or is he going to attack? He's going to go for plants. He's going to grab that acanthus plant right there if he can. Oh, but he got a 2. Something bites you. Alright, he'll suffer 1 arm damage, I guess. But it comes off the board. So now the antelope can't use it. Alright, that's it for our first turn. That's all we can do. None of us have Surge. So we can't take an extra regular action. Showdown. If there are no acanthus plants on the Showdown board, discard Showdown and perform basic action. Full move the Screaming Antelope to the closest acanthus plant. If the monster ends its movement on or adjacent to an acanthus plant, it consumes it. This is going to heal it a whole bunch, but that's okay because we haven't even wounded it yet, so that's not really going to hurt us. Place it on top of the monster AI deck instead of discarding it? What? It's just gonna keep doing this forever? Right, because if we put this on top of the AI deck, that means it's gonna do this next time. Oh, unless we wound it and get rid of the card. Okay, I get it. Well, it's not gonna get healed at all because it's already fully healed. It's gonna turn around and go directly... I need to change the scale on this a little bit. It's gonna go directly over here and eat one of these plants. So we'll say it eats this one. And then this goes on top of the AI deck. So now, if we don't wound it, it's gonna do that again next time. Which means it's gonna be stealing our acanthus. Can't have that. But at least it didn't attack us. I mean, that's good, right? We haven't gotten hurt yet. Alright, who do we want to actually try to wound this thing? Who's got the best chance? 2 accuracy, 2 strength, 2 luck, 2 wow, Ghost Skull's a beast. Alright, yeah, Ghost Skull is our fucking killing machine. Needs more speak with animals and ask it where other acanthus patches are. That'd be awesome. We just need to do some skywriting for some reason. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think our buddy Bone Tree is going to come around behind this antelope. And I think he's going to attack. With Fist and Tooth. He has 2 speed, and this has 2 speed. That's 4 dice. He needs an 8. Minus 2 is a 6. Minus 1 for the blind spot. He gets 4 dice, and he needs 5s. He got 1 hit. And he hit the antelope in the giant tongue. Minus 2 toughness to wound this location. That's handy. But if I wound him, weird shit is going to happen. Alright, so to wound. The toughness is 8. I get nothing from this. I get 2 from my strength. That means I need a 6. Minus 2 toughness to wound this location means I need a 4. And I can crit on an 8 or higher. On a 7 or higher. And I did not wound or crit, so nothing happens at all. Well, good try, Bone Tree. Good try. But you suck. Alright, Bone Grinder's gonna take this Acanthus plant right here. Or attempt to. With a 5. Oh. He doesn't get an Acanthus, but he gets a survival. He finds something tasty and consumes it. Wait! He can't! He's got a shattered jaw! He cannot consume things! I don't know how he survives, but let's not question it. So he can't benefit from that because of his shattered jaw. He would need an 8 to change it to a... Wait, what did he get? A 5? He couldn't change it either. So unfortunately, he does not benefit from that. But that still removes the terrain from the board. I don't know what he's gonna do after that. I guess he'll just stand where he is. There's no real reason for him to move in. And he can't attack because he used his main action doing that. And now we have the ladies. Alright, I want Ghost Skull going in. Going in for the kill. Now she could use this dagger, but I want to get some wounds with Fist and Tooth going, so she's going to use Fist and Tooth again. She'll have 4 attacks, needing 5s to hit. Yeah, normally, Nox, you would. If you just drew the Acanthus card, it would, but the specific instructions in the Showdown telling you to set them up in this area override that. Because it's actually impossible. I've tried it. It's actually impossible to set up 6 Acanthus plants in that green area and have them all be 6 away from each other. Yeah, this is special setup instructions which override the setup instructions on the card. Like, if I just drew Acanthus plants normally out of the terrain deck for another Showdown, I'd have to set them up 6 spaces away. But in this case, you can set them up anywhere in that green area. What did she get? 1 hit? Oh, it's the trap card already! Here we go! The Wailing Slide. The screaming antelope panics, its undermouth unleashing an inhuman wail. It bucks wildly and leaps into the air. The attacker is doomed. All survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 2 brain damage per monster level, knockback 5, and are knocked down. Okay. Well, that's 3 different people that are about to take that particular level of pipe. 2 brain damage to her. She's down to no insanity. 2 brain damage to her. Two brain damage to him. Knockback 5. And knocked down. Well, that was just kind of horrible. We still haven't fucking wounded it. The monster lands on its belly and begins to slide on its teeth. Turn the monster directly away from the attacker and full move forward in a straight line. On collision, survivors gain a disorder. It runs into you and you go nuts. But it's not going to collide with anything. It's going to full move 6 squares to the right. Well, straight ahead, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't collide with anyone, fortunately. Well, that was some bullshit. Let's shuffle this up real good. Well, sucks to be us, I guess. Because now, Bloodskull doesn't even get a turn. Because she's been knocked down. Alright, let's see what the antelope does. We know what it's gonna do. It's gonna chow down. Yeah, it chows down. It eats this, it gets healed, but it doesn't, that doesn't help it because it's not actually hurt. This goes back on the AI deck. Monster's turn is over. Oh man, I really want that. I need another Acanthus. I need it. I need it. Really, I need fucking 4 of them, but... It's okay, we'll get more chances every time we hunt an antelope. Well, at the end of the monster's turn, everybody stands up, fortunately, because they didn't just get knocked down on the monster's turn. Alright. She's going in for this last Acanthus. Come on, Bloodskull. Make it happen. A 5 does not make it happen. But she can get the +1 survival anyway, which is nice. Okay. All the Acanthus is off the board. We can start wounding the creature now without worrying about its healing itself. That's it for Bloodskull's turn. Bone Grinder's coming in for the assault. He's using Fist and Tooth. He's got a 4 speed. 6 needs a 5 to hit. One hit, man. We're rolling pretty piss poor. Hits it in the restless tiny hands. Does it have tiny hands? A lot of these creatures unusually have tiny hands, but I don't see any on the antelope. Do you see any tiny hands? Well, apparently it has some. And it just got hit in him. Aha! Nice! Because he is attacking with Fist and Tooth, this failure thing isn't even going to affect him. Grasping tiny hands knock your weapon away, but he's not using a weapon, so he won't be affected by that. But the question is, can he deliver a wound or not? He needs 8 minus 3, a 5 to wound, a 7 to crit. A 5! Yes, he wounded. First blood has been drawn. First blood has been drawn. Okay. From Bone Grinder, the man with the shattered jaw. Who else has got to go here? Bone Tree and Ghost Skull. Okay. Well, Bone Tree's going in first. I'm glad we have all this movement. Oh, and he gets a token for his Fist and Tooth proficiency. That's good. Now he wants to get his fist and tooth proficiency up, so he's going to... Oh, I don't know. Attack, I guess. Needs a 6 to hit. Only one hit. Hits it in the restless hoof. Hoof punch! This has a special effect if you're fighting with fist and tooth. That's fucked up. Alright, does he wound? He needs a 6. He needs a 6 to wound. He fails. Oh, he just dislocated his shoulder. He just dislocated his shoulder. Kicked by the creature's hooves. Well, that's really rude. I don't think that's going to be a permanent injury, though. I think that's just going to hurt him for this fight. Pop! You cannot activate two-handed or paired weapons or use block until the showdown ends. Okay, that's no big deal, because he doesn't use any of those things anyway. But still, it kind of sucks that he didn't manage to get a wound in. Alright, what's next? How about our leader, our glorious leader, Ghost Skull? Get in here and get some work done. Here to get some work done. Ghost Skull. Still using fist and tooth. Honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about this fist and tooth idea. It's gonna take a lot of bullshit fist and tooth attacks and a lot of hunts to get everybody to master fist and tooth. And I don't know that it's really worth it. Considering how much better we could be doing just using weapons. You know? Like, she could use this dagger and be much deadlier. I think Ghost Skull's just gonna use the dagger. Fuck the fist and tooth proficiency. So, using the dagger, she'll get 5 attacks, needing 5s to hit. Three hits. Hit him in the restless eye, the restless flank, and the palate. We have to hit him in the eye first because it says first strike. She could change her proficiency to dagger at the start of the next hunt, yeah, but she can't change it like right now in the middle of a fight. Screaming antelope's massive eyes glisten with human-like fear. If the attacker is insane, is she? Yes. Cancel all hits and end their attack. Fuck! Otherwise, the attacker suffers one. Yeah, well, so much for all those hits. She just got psyched out by its restless eye. Oh, some bullshit. Alright. What's next? That's it. That's all of our turns. It is the turn of the antelope. Uh-oh. It's going on a lone rampage. Look at that zone of death. Look at the fact that we're all in it. The monster unleashes an awful wail to signal its terrific rampage. All non-deaf survivors suffer 1 brain damage. Oh, shit. Okay, alright. Well, that's going to be a problem for Blood Skull. Actually, it's not. She can take that 1 box. Bone grinder. Bone tree. It's going on a rampage, Nox. Now everybody is in the zone of death. All knocked down survivors. Thank God none of us are knocked down. All standing survivors also take it. 1 damage per monster level. Bash and knockback 7. Alright, run damage. Let's see where she takes it. Blood Skull. To the waist. Bone Grinder. To the arms. Bone Tree. To the waist. Ghost Skull. To the arms. A lot of waist and arms going on here. Bash and knockback 7. And Bash knocks you down. This antelope's a pain in the ass. Laid waste to the army. Nice, thanks. So, after it does that, it doesn't move or anything. It just fucking wrecks us all. Alright. Well, it's our turn. Unfortunately, none of us get to do anything. Because we just got knocked down on the monster's turn, so all 4 people are knocked down, so all 4 people lose their turn. So, Antelope gets to go again. Yeah, they're all knocked down. Knocks. Yeah, because look, it suffers Bash and knockback 7. Bash knocks you down. That's what Bash does. Alright, he's going to do a back kick. In blind spot, nobody's in his blind spot. Closest threat in range, there are no threats in range. No target, graze. So it's just going to graze this time. It moves to the closest acanthus plant, but there aren't any, so if there are no acanthus plants on the showdown board, instead full move forward in a straight line. So that's all it's going to do is move forward 6. Alright, and now its turn ends, and now we all get to stand up. We've only done 1 wound to this thing so far. This is not actually going super well. My idea to have everyone take fist and tooth proficiency was pretty dumb. Like, we should just be using darts. Look, with darts, she'd get 4 attacks, needing a 5 to hit, with a 6 to wound. 5 attacks, needing 6 to hit, with a 3 to wound. A better chance to crit. Alright, we're done fucking around. Is there anybody that should be meleeing it? Well, she should be meleeing it because she has this sweet dagger. Bone Grinder should definitely go into dart mode. Alright, so we're going to start with Bone Grinder. No, I lied. We're going to start with Bone Tree. He got 7 movement, and he can throw his darts at a range of 6. If he goes to here, he's out of dart range. Yeah, if he goes to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. He can dart from there. So he's going to go over there and start chucking darts. Three attacks. Needs 5s to hit. Two hits. Furry Throat. If you hit with a club or shield, you get extra luck. Restless Back. If you hit with a club or... Apparently clubs and shields are the things to use against these creatures. Alright, let's go after the throat first. He needs a 3 to wound. Wound, finally. And the other one? An 8, which is a crit because of his 2 luck. Your strike lands squarely on the monster's squirming spine, accompanied by a sickening crunch. Affects some AI cards. Persistent injury. Crushed spine. Alright. She, on the other hand, is gonna fucking melee, because she has this dagger. Actually, you know what she should do? She should do Orator of Death. She's gonna move to right here, and she's gonna use Order of Death. Which will give all of us 2 insanity. It's good to start building that up. Plus, we got a couple... Because this thing's doing a lot of brain damage. And, like, for example, Blood Skull really fucking needs it. Or else she'll be rolling on the brain trauma table. And... he's gonna throw darts. Actually, she'll do Orator of Death too. We get all the insanity going. Move up to here. And finally there is the Bone Grinder. He doesn't have anything special, right? No, he's lame. Okay, oh, but he's so far away. He can dash if I wanted to spend my one last survival. Oh wait, he's gonna run up into dart range probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, he's not in dart range. I'm not going to use his 1 survival just to dash into dart range right now. I think we're just going to call it good. Let's just see what the monster does. Gonna do Stomp and Snort. Random survivor in range. That would be... everybody except for... 3, 6, 9. Looks like it's gonna be Bone Tree. The screaming antelope begins to stomp and snort excitedly. A gurgled moan sounds from its undermouth. Turn to face and roll 1d10. A 6. Target suffers 1 brain damage and is knocked down. And if they're insane, they also suffer knockback 5. 1 brain damage. Knocked all the way back to here and knocked down. Dude, this antelope is rude. It is very rude. It does a lot of bajiggity things. Alright. Well, that's it for the thing. So he's not going to get it. Oh, somebody could encourage him. She could... Oh, she's got no survival. Sounded good. Alright, Ghost Skull. Go to town with that dagger. In the blind spot. Needs a 7. She needs a 5. She needs a 4. She gets 5 attacks. She got a perfect hit, which gives her a survival back. That's why the dagger is so cool. She also got 4 hits. The Restless Shank, the Gnarled Horns, the Restless Ear, and the Restless Rump. Alright, we don't want to do the Rump, because it's going to move away. Gnarled Horn seems obnoxious. Ooh, the Restless Shank isn't good. Alright, we're going to start with the Restless Ear. She needs 3 to wound, 7 to crit. Wound! Then we're going to do... I don't like this. That would hurt her in the way of badness. So I'm gonna do Gnarled Horns first. Gnarled Horns. 3 to wound, 7 to crit. Crit! Gain a Screaming Antelope resource, and Blood Pours from the Ruined Crown. Affects some AI cards. Gained a Screaming Antelope resource. We got a pelt. And it also does a proper wound. Alright. Now I'll do Restless Rump. Riggedy Restless Rump. Failed to wound, but whether I fail or hit, it has a reflex, so it moves, faces away and full moves in a straight line, and cancel the other hits, so I don't have to deal with that vicious attack from the other thing. Don't forget to copy the pelt. Ah, right. Okay. Thanks, Nox. I think where we're at now is it needs to move, full move away. I think it's a miraculous that this thing's been running around so much and it still hasn't trampled anybody. Well, that's all she can do on her turn. Oh, it's not all she can do. She could encourage somebody right now because she did get a survival back, which means she could get him up. All right, fuck it, let's do it. Spend the survival, encourage him, and he gets a +1 speed token right now. But only till the end of the round. I'm not even going to bother to put it on there. I'm just going to remember that he has it for this one attack, +1 speed. Alright, well, we might as well do him next then. He'll come around behind Now he's going to throw darts, but he's going to do so from right in the blind spot, which is a little bit dangerous. I mean, but whatever. What's up, Tim Fisher42? How you doing? What's up, Tim? This is actually not a video game. This is Tabletop Simulator. This is actually a board game. Like a real physical board game that's been modded into Tabletop Simulator. And it is one of the most complicated board games in existence. I'm doing pretty good, bud. I'm doing pretty good. Alright, what's Bone Tree doing? He's fucking running up and throwing darts on that thing's rump. He's got 3. He's got 4 of the speeds right now. And he's gonna hit on a 4 or better. He got a perfect hit, which doesn't trigger anything for him. But those are all hits. Let's see what hit locations we get. We're probably about to draw a trap card. Let's keep it real here. Oh, we didn't. You got the tongue. Because sometimes when you're standing behind a screaming antelope and you throw a dart at it, the dart curves around and hits it in the tongue. You got the muzzle. Okay, terrible shit happens on Ferocious Spasm. And he's got the delicate inverted knee. Let's roll against the delicate inverted knee. What's he need to wound? He's got 2 strength and 3 on the weapon is 5. Toughness is 8, so he needs to roll 3s. Or 8s to crit. 10 damage, it's a crit. Well, not 10 damage, but it's a crit on the knee. Well, there is no GM in this game, Tim, because it's all run by the game's own built-in AI. So everything is like rolling on random tables to tell you what happens, or like drawing cards off of decks that will tell you what happens. I am playing all 4 characters, though. Normally, up to 4 actual people could be playing all these characters. But I think things go smoother with just one person anyway. Otherwise, you'd have other people trying to do dumb shit, and you'd have to argue with them, and, you know. People would be taking your coal miner's boots and everything. You understand how it goes with multiplayer. The Screaming Antelope's balance is ruined. When the monster starts its movement, roll a d10 on a result of 1. Screaming Antelope is knocked down. Alright, so we've just delivered another critical wound to him, and we've taken... So now he's only got 4 AI cards left. So that means we just need to wound him 5 more times and he's dead. Let's see what happens next. Let's go for the Restless Muzzle next. Not quite a crit, but it is another wound. Nothing special happens. I don't like the looks of this, though. Bad things are gonna happen on this Zone of Death situation. Well, let's see what happens with the giant tongue. Or the fire resist braces you've been farming for days and some fucking druid just took the first agility set that dropped. Yes! Like that! God. Fucking druids, man. It's not like you even need them for anything. You can do DPS as other classes. You can heal with Crystal Restore. You don't need druid heals. You can tank with evasion. Who needs druids? Alright, so let's see if I wound this giant tongue. I did. Oh man, Bone Tree's fucking him up now. Blood and spittle erupt from the Screaming Antelope's wounded undermaw. If the wound roll result is even, suffer 1 brain damage. It was even, so he's gonna take a little damage to his insanity. If it was odd, he could have gained insanity. You're playing a druid in WoW again these days? God damn it. Okay, now this is where it gets dangerous, because no matter whether he wounds or doesn't wound, a bad thing is going to happen here. And he crit, but this card doesn't have a critical effect on it, so critting doesn't do anything. Still does a wound, but... Healer, though, you know your role now? That's good. As long as you're not stealing people's agility gear, we're all good. The Screaming Antelope frantically attacks everything around it. Which is, we are in the zone of death, unfortunately. So, he's gonna target and perform a basic action. Of course he is. His basic action is to move and attack target. This is the first time in this whole fight that the Antelope's actually attacking somebody with a normal attack. It's kind of weird, really. Speed 2. Accuracy 2+, but Bone Tree has a nice 4 evasion. So that means that the Antelope has to roll the 6 to hit him. And it only does 1 damage. I'm not too concerned about this. He did get a hit, though. See where it hits him. In the body. Not a big deal, it's only 1 damage. He can take the light injury there. Alright, that's fine, actually. Alright, so Bone Grinder and Blood Skull still have to go, but they're really far away, but they might be able to get into dart range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he can throw a dart from there. The primary stat of any piece of gear changes based on your spec these days, so you're totally still stealing agility gear. Damn it. Damn it, why? He's gonna throw 3 darts, in fact, needing 5s to hit. All 3 are hits, that's glorious. But he's only got 7 cards left in the hit location deck, so you know what that means, right? That means one of these is probably going to be the trap card. Yep, there it is. There's the trap. So that invalidates everything else. Screaming Antelope panics, its undermouth unleashing an inhuman wail. It bucks wildly and leaps into the air. All survivors adjacent to the monster. Yeah, and the only person who's adjacent is our poor friend Bone Tree, who's going to take 2 points of brain damage. He's no longer insane. He just got turned sane by this attack. Knockback 5 and knocked down. Why did the... Oh, yeah, because it turned to attack him. And he's knocked on his ass. In addition, the monster lands on his belly and begins to slide on its teeth. Turn it directly away from the attacker. Okay, the attacker is over here. So I guess directly away would be facing this way. And it full moves over here to the edge of the board. It can't go any further. And it doesn't collide with anybody. It still hasn't collided with anybody. We've gotten really lucky on the collision thing. And then we have to reshuffle the whole hit location deck. Rest in peace, Akbar. Spoiler alert. No! Admiral Akbar is dead. My favorite character. Well, my second favorite after Jar Jar Binks. Man, Star Trek's so good. Alright, so, enrage all Star Wars fans in a single sentence. Jar Jar Binks is my favorite Star Trek character. Well, alright, so that's the end of Bone Grinder's turn. The only person left to act is Blood Skull, and I don't think she can do much because she's way down here in East Poughkeepsie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it'll show me how far. Oh, she can get into dart range. I don't want to be on a straight line with it. I think she can only get up like this far. Let's bring her to the maximum pulled out dart range. And let's throw some darts. I get to throw 5 of them. I have an accuracy of 5. No, I get to throw 4 of them. I have an accuracy of 5. Hopefully no trap card. Alright, 2 hits. I'll take it. Make sure this is really shuffled. He hits him in the restless rump and the restless muzzle. Let's wound the restless muzzle first. Strength is 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 2 to wound. Crit! Fuck you, restless muzzle. You shock the beast with a blow to the face. The monster is knocked down. Damn! Now I knock him down after everybody's taken their turn and nobody can take advantage of it. That's unfortunate. But okay, it's still a wound. Actually, this thing's almost dead. One more wound and it's dead, actually. We're about to win the fight. I didn't realize it had gotten that far. In fact, if she wounds with this last dart, it's all over. And all she needs to wound with this last dart is 2 or higher. So I'm feeling good about my odds. Actually, she crit, in fact. This is like some sort of competitive LARPing dart throwing championship. Hey, on a crit we gain a Screaming Antelope resource. And we killed the creature. Our first Screaming Antelope, we got some muscly gums. Difficult to pry apart. Sometimes in life you just need some muscly gums. Alright, we won. We've killed our first Screaming Antelope. And nobody died or suffered any horrible, debilitating injuries or brain traumas. So really, things couldn't have gone better. Hashtag muscle. He's been doing that gum workout he read about in Muscle and Fitness. Trying to think of like a joke of like an antelope version of Muscle and Fitness that I could call it. There would be some kind of pun, but nothing came to me quickly enough. Yeah, the dislocated shoulder will be fine now. Pieces of orbits that recently placed in this year's Mr. Olympia. I wasn't even thinking that kind of gum. Alright, we win. When the monster is defeated, any survivors with 20 plus insanity are driven mad by the monster's death wail. Fortunately for us, none of us are that insane. They vanish screaming into the darkness, never to be seen again. So, we get Hunt XP and Weapon Proficiency if eligible. Well, we're not eligible. Oh, Bloodskull just hit her first age milestone, though. So, let's see what she gets. This is what she's going on with right now. Suddenly has very red hands, except she doesn't have a cloth and she's female and she... I don't know about those big faces in the background, really. She can pick a weapon proficiency. Well... Oh, I wrote down Fist and Tooth here, but she doesn't even have proficiency yet. Now she can pick a proficiency. I don't know what proficiency I want her to have yet. It ain't gonna be Fist and Tooth, though. That much I can fucking tell you. We'll decide when we get back to town. But let's see what good shit she gets. She got a 9. That's not great. A random fighting art. Okay. Let's see what fighting art she gets. Mammoth hunting. Gain +1 strength when attacking from adjacent spaces outside the monster's facing in blind spot. Okay, that's cool. But man, that's the Gorm, obviously. And you see it's got the tiny hands. We haven't fought a Gorm yet, but that doesn't look like no mammoth I've ever seen. Also, mammoth hunting. I happen to know a thing or two about that. IRL. Having mammoth hunted it many a time. So she's now a mammoth hunter. She's got muscly gums. This is the best time for you to return to the channel ever. I know, right, Tim? Do you know what this phase of the game that I just played is called? This phase of the game is called the Showdown phase. I just had a showdown, Tim. This screaming antelope was looking for a showdown. Greatest game ever. Has showdowns. Alright, well, that's it for the antelope. We're probably going to hunt another one next year. Let's clean everything up here. The hunt phase stuff can get reshuffled. And then we'll sort out all of his stuff. Telling about one of your character's abilities is throw an enemy into the sun. Oh, it sure would be nice. I gotta pull out the advanced cards from here. The ram card. Nothing more advanced. The lone ram page. And there's 2 Showdown cards in there. Dick move. Stack. Put these back on the advanced AI deck. Shuffle that up. Put these back on the basic AI deck. Shuffle that up. Alright. Hunt complete. Epic victory obtained. Let's see where we're at here. Let's put our people down here out of the fucking way. So they'll be ready for the next showdown. Train deck, shuffle that up. Alright, it is time to get our stuff. Wait, I didn't finish doing hunt XP and stuff for everybody. She got her age milestone. She doesn't get any of this. He gets a hunt XP. He does get a point in Fist and Tooth. Not sure how I feel about that. The others didn't get any point in anything. Alright. Let's take this stuff. Put it up here. Take this stuff. This is all the stuff we got prior. We only got 1 acanthus, though. My whole reason for wanting to fight the antelope was to get some acanthus, and we only got 1. I need, like, 4 of them. At least. Alright, let's go ahead and draw our rewards now. 4 basic, 4 screaming. A monster hide. Another love juice, another monster bone, and another skull! Oh my god, we have become Death, Destroyer of Worlds. We are pulling 2 skulls from this. My characters are going to be really powerful. Despite the fact that they can't use most of the gear in the game. We have become Death, Destroyer of Worlds. And then we also get... It keeps snapping to the grid, so the cards are not laying out the way I want them to. Not that it actually matters, but I'm just being a little bit... We got a beast steak. Shockingly appetizing. No, Nox. It's not from a cow, don't worry. It's from an evil monster antelope. Not from a cow. A shank bone. Strangely jointed. Another pelt, coarse and warm. And another shank. Oh, it's good. We got bones. We need those to make some fucking weapons. So this is all the stuff we got. I guess everything doesn't have to be so spread out. Anyway, this is all the stuff we got. So let's... Wait! I need to copy... I need to copy these 4 things. Here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to bring them over here. I'm going to try to copy all 4 of them. Yeah. Then I'm going to grab these 4 and throw them back on that deck. Yeah, that didn't happen the way it was supposed to. And these go back on here, these go back on here. We shuffle, 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 shuffle. Shuffling decks I haven't even used. Beast, not beef, yeah. So, you know, not a big deal. Not a big deal. We take all of our goodies and bring them back over here to the settlement. 2 skulls. Oh. That's glorious. There. This is all of our stuff we'll be able to make stuff with. Now, the showdown is over. We return to the settlement. Let's see what new horrible things happen to us. Everybody is fully... Oh yeah, we need to do heal and reset on everybody. Get rid of any little lingering points of damage we might have had. Nice. Back to the settlement, and to the settlement phase. Survivors return. Gain endeavors. How many endeavors are we going to get? Nobody in my group is a tinker yet, unfortunately. So we're only going to get 4 for the 4 base survivors returning. Do we get any extra from any of this stuff? No. We really only get 4? That's terrible. Alright, we don't get to endeavor it. Yeah, this game exists IRL, Tim, but as far as I know, it's the most expensive board game in existence. Because it includes a whole fuck ton of extremely high quality miniatures. And also because it's just overpriced, frankly. For what you get in the box, it's frankly overpriced. If you had backed this on Kickstarter when it originally was on Kickstarter, you could have gotten this board game for $200. But now, the cheapest you could get it for on the buying it directly from the designer's website is $400. And if you want to get a copy off eBay or something, it's like $600. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous, ridiculous thing. So I'm like, I'm never going to buy that game, obviously. But since somebody made this nice mod of it in Tabletop Simulator, which is free. And free is much better than $400. Yeah, holy crap is right. He calls it a boutique board game. Boutique here being a fucking code word for overpriced. Alright, we've come back. We've gained our endeavors. Oh no, we gotta do settlement events. We have to do Gorm climate first. The returning survivors find the settlement tormented by relentless foul weather. Add Gorm climate to the next lantern year on the timeline and roll 1d10. So it's gonna come back next year. Well, we have Hovel. A lot of these rolls could be very bad. Yeah, artisan. It's handcrafted. It's smoked applewood board game. Alright, Bone Tree will make this roll. A 10. Which is usually good, but in this case might not be. The settlement struggles against the quaking ground, linking arms to brace themselves against a storm. Nominate a survivor with 0 hunt XP. They draw strength from the settlement's determination and gain +1 courage. It's not bad. It didn't screw us. That's what matters. It didn't really help us much, because that just means one of my randos gains courage. Well, I guess we'll give it to Bonebreaker here. Characters I'll probably never use, basically. Alright, so... Vestophobia guy? You want me to use Vestophobia guy? You know, I thought of a cool thing I could do. Well, no, because he'll be too weak. He won't have any cool abilities, and he'll just generally be lame. Bonebreaker at least has some extra strength, so he might actually make it onto the team someday. Laughing Skull has actually been on a hunt with the team. She's ineligible because she has 1 hunt XP. Alright, now we have to draw our actual yearly event. The strong, yeah, the super strong baby. He was born with +2 strength. What do we get? Cracks in the ground. Uh-oh. This can't be good. A low rumbling fills the settlement. Small cracks in the earth widen into fissures that belch up hot, foul-smelling vapor. And now we roll to see what terrible thing occurs. Oh, look. If you roll a 1, somebody's dead. If you roll a 2 through 5, somebody's dead. Lovely. Oh, this could be terrible, actually. I really need a 6+ here. Oh, wait. Nobody in my group has any heavy gear, so a 1 would also be acceptable. Alright, who has the most survival to modify this roll? I guess Bone Tree. A 1. Okay, I'll take a 1, actually, because a massive crack splits the ground in 2. Any returning survivors with heavy gear are dead. But I'm pretty certain, considering we barely have any gear at all, pretty certain none of our stuff is heavy. Yeah, we ain't got no heavy gear. Okay, cool, so that doesn't hurt us at all. However, the cracks prevent all home endeavors. I don't have any home endeavors anyway. The vapor improves breathing, +1 to the result of nightmare training. That's actually really cool if I had nightmare training. And the other things require innovations that I don't have yet. Scarification. Spend 3 resources to roll on this table. 1 through 6, you fall into a hole, you are dead. This game's such a dick. Alright, oh wait, no, that doesn't go there. That goes back on the deck and gets reshuffled. Alright. Now we're back. We need to update the death count. Nobody died. We need to update the timeline. Let's see if there's any events this year that are going to make us sad. Gorm climate. We just resolved Gorm climate. Oh, next year we have to fight the Butcher. That's going to be scary times. The Butcher is not your friend. We might have some death and dismemberment that takes place next year. But we get to do one more hunt between now and then. I feel like I need to hunt the Gorm so that I can hopefully deal with this Gorm climate situation. Oh yeah, Gorm, well, yeah. I don't really need to add it to the timeline because it's already... I already have the card sitting there. But I'll add it to the timeline anyway, just in case I forget for some reason. Marrow Haven continues. Sama has 5 innovations. How many we got? We have 4, but we're about to get our 5th one, so that's going to trigger a thing too. Alright, first endeavor is going to go to innovate. We have to spend a bone, an organ, and a hide. Let's spend... Do I care about using love juice? Not really. I'm going to spend a love juice and a generic monster bone and a generic monster hide. And now we get to try to innovate here. Oh, Symposium! That one's so good. Fuck partnership. Get out of here. You're done. We're choosing Symposium. It raises our survival limit, which is nice, except for the fact that we still don't have any damn way to get survival very well. I mean, yeah, it's cool that we can have up to 6 now, but our ability to generate it is very poor at this stage based on the innovations that we've gotten and the gear that we are able to have. Fucking Gorm climate change. All kinds of Gorm hurricanes and Gorm ocean level rises plaguing your team. It's true. Gorm, damn it. Alright, now, from now on, whenever we innovate, we get to draw 4 cards instead of 2 and choose the one we want. So that'll give us more control over what innovations we get. And it raised our survival limit, which is nice. And this goes in the education section. So we have a little bit of education going. I like the fact that our people here haven't even invented such things as pictographs or beds or face painting, but we've come up with something we're calling a symposium. Like, that seems like we skipped some steps in sophistication there. Order of the Bedless. Alright, now we're going to spend 2 of these doing skull rituals, because we have 2 skulls. So the skulls go away, and all 4 of my people get an amazing +2 to every stat from the skull ritual. Now we're actually really strong. Oh my god, our movement is out of fucking... We could really actually kite with darts now. Oh no, we can't, because the darts still only have a range of 6, so it doesn't matter how far away you can move. Oh, plus Symposium cards to Innovation deck. Yes, yes, we've got a... What are the Symposium consequences? I like how it calls it consequences. For some reason, like... Oh, Nightmare Training is one. Storytelling is one. That's all. So these are 2 cards that now might come up when we draw innovations. Alright, hold on. So we're adding a bunch of stats to everybody. Actually, these characters have gotten really fucking strong for this early in the game. All those skulls. Remember in the beginning when I was like, we could get really lucky and get a lot of skulls? Or we could get unlucky and not get any skulls, and then the game will be really hard. Or if we get the skulls, the game will be a lot easier. So it's pretty much a luck thing with the people of the skull variant. But actually, we're really strong now. Considering the fact that we have no fucking gear. And we have a mammoth hunter among us! We're sleeping on the ground, but gormthropogenic climate change is settled science. Yeah. I just like the fact that we haven't figured out pictograms, but we've got a symposium. Alright, the dislocated shoulder goes away. And But what we really need is the innovations that give us survival, like ammonia. Departing survivors gain 1 survival. And family. Departing survivors gain 1 survival. And there's like one more that's good for that. Well, oh, and the Interlander would be good because then we'd have surge. But, like, I want family, and although family's kind of a shitty... It's shitty other than the survival thing, but ammonia's good because it unlocks a lot of good stuff. Hunting mammoths in this pre-hieroglyphic society. We hunt some mammoths, then we just come home to the symposium. Now, unfortunately, that leaves me with only 1 endeavor. If I played the drums, we might be able to get some extra survival. I could do augury and try to get somebody some understanding or survival, or do intimacy, which I don't care about, really. We don't need to have any fucking babies. Fuck my population. I've got my 4 people that I care about, and I've got 11 fucking randos that we can sacrifice to the wolves. In fact, I want some of those people to die, because when they die, we can cannibalize them and get extra resources. Yes, fecal salve. Sometimes you just gotta rub some shit on yourself. This game's got some crazy shit. You can get some pretty bad severe injuries, such as destroyed genitals are a thing. There's a card for destroyed genitals. It's a dark game. But people with dark inclinations and $400. Now, like I said, I think the original people that got it on Kickstarter in the beginning got it for only $200. Which actually, having looked into a lot of board games recently, for a huge box board game, I mean, the box weighs 17 pounds. For a huge box board game with tons and tons of high quality miniatures in it, $200 is actually reasonable. Compared to what other games of that type go for. But $400 is just, no. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Alright, now we have to spend our last thing. So the only 2 things we could spend it on... No, there's 3 things. We could make a weapon crafter. There's 4 things. We could make a stone circle. We could make a skinnery, but I don't think the skinnery is going to do us any good. Make a stone circle or a weapon crafter. Or play the drums or do an augury. How's everybody doing on understanding? Absolutely terrible is the answer. Okay. Stone circle will let us make stuff out of... If we make a stone circle... The sun! You can have the sun as a location for your settlement. What? The stone circle will let us make stuff out of antelope stuff. Oh, and it gives us harvest ritual, but you need forbidden dance. I need forbidden dance. I need to keep that in mind. Building a stone circle seems like a good idea. Or a weapon crafter. If I make a weapon crafter, we can't use most of these, but we can use skull cap hammers, which are quite nice. We could get somebody using a skull cap hammer. Apparently you can do something involving the sun. Because you can have the sun as a settlement location. That's from one of the special expansions that we're not using, but... I should probably make a stone circle. I don't know. I should check and see. Like, what stuff could I make? Like, I'd like to make some things like pickaxes and sickles, but you need leather for that. And you need ammonia. And you can't make leather without a leather worker. But if I make a leather worker, it's mostly... then you can make leather if you have ammonia. But we don't even have ammonia yet, so I'm not going to bother with that. If I make a weapon crafter... we can make this stuff, but I can't use that. I can't use that. I can't use that. I could use that, but it's useless without that. I can't use that. I can't use that. The Skullcap Hammer is a good weapon. Whistling Mace seems kind of bad because if you roll a 1, you hit yourself and suffer damage. I'm not down with that. Oh, and we could make Zambados, though. Those are a beast-ass weapon. So making a weapon crafter is tempting. But I think I'll make a stone circle right now instead. So what do I need to make the stone circle? 3 organs and a hide. I can use this love juice. I could use this love juice. Muscly gums are an organ. Beefsteak is an organ, but what else can I do with muscly gums and beefsteak is the question. You have Pillars of Eternity and Tyranny? Which should you do first? I don't know, either one, because they're not related to each other in any way. I like Tyranny more, but Pillars of Eternity is really good too. God damn it, phone. I don't want iOS 11. You sent me a John Oliver quote? And if you don't see where I'm going with this, you've clearly never seen this fucking show before. I didn't see the one from this week yet. I've seen all of them up to this week, but I haven't seen the most recent one yet. I gotta torrent that shit. I mean, legally obtain it in a way that involves fixing engines and reading the Bible. Alright, have a good night, Tim. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you. Let's see. We use shank bones for bone earrings. Oh, I want some bone earrings. Those are nice. I don't see what we use the gums for. Harbor surgeon. Use it for bug trap. What do we use the steak for? I don't think we use the steak for anything except probably cooking, and I don't care about cooking at all because it's a pain in the ass and requires you get a bunch of things that are really hard. So I could give up this beast steak right here. I could pull out a stone circle. Mistakes. 3 organs and a hide. And now we have a stone circle. Apparently that's what a stone circle looks like. So now we could make stuff. We could make beast knuckles. Those are pretty nice. What do those require? Large flat tooth. Okay, we don't have any of those yet. Bone earrings are good. Good. What do those require? A shank bone and a normal bone. We can make screaming horns. That requires bone. That has a bone keyword. Takes a spiral horn and a scrap, though. We can make blood paint. Basically lets you activate 2 different weapons on your turn. As long as they're not two-handed weapons. What's blood paint require? A bladder and an organ, and we have to have the paint. We have the paint thing. Okay, a bladder and an organ. So, like, right now we could literally make... God, why do we have so few bones, though? I really want to use up our stuff so that we can... What do we use pelts for? Bunch of stuff that we're not going to use. Ah, Beast Knuckles use pelts, though. So I want to save them for those. Like, I want to save this stuff. But, like, I don't want us to come back next time and be like, lol, you lost all your shit. Since I need these shank bones, and I might not always get them, and I need them for the bone earrings, I don't want to waste them just making, like, you know, some scrub thing. You don't want to be Gorm with the wind. So am I making anything right now? I don't think those charms will do me any good right now. I could make a monster to... No, I have to have heat. Fecal salve. You actually get survival for having a fecal salve. It's not a bad thing to have. Same with monster grease. Right, Acanthus. Okay, that I'm certainly making. I wish I could have made more of these, but I could only make one. But I'm definitely making a dried acanthus. I don't think I have any extra spare bones that I want to use to make. Catarium. I don't have anything that I need to make anything from the Catarium. Stone circle. I don't have what I need to make anything from the stone circle. So the only thing I could make is I could take these muscly gums. I could take these muscly gums and make another monster grease or a fecal salve out of them. More survival would sure be nice. We better make another monster grease, just to be safe. Okay, everybody has one now. That'll raise his evasion to a 5 as well. So that makes this really hard to hit. And somebody gets this Stridocanthus. I think it's going to be her. She'll get 2 more survival on Depart. And of course it can save her life. Since she's our leader. I really wanted to Stridocanthus for everybody. Because that would have gotten us a lot more survival. So now I'm torn, Nox. I'm torn. Do I hunt the Gorm now, in the hopes of making some progress toward getting rid of Gorm climate? Or do I hunt another fucking antelope so that I can hopefully get more Acanthus? So torn. No, not yet. I don't have to fight the Butcher until next year. Because this is the year where I put the check mark in 3. Next year, I put the check mark in 4, and that's when you fight the Butcher at the end of the year. After you've already had a normal showdown. So in other words, I get one more hunt before I fight the Butcher. Oh, I could do this too. I could eat this fucking fruit and just see what happens like a crazy person. You know, I'm going to. We're eating the lonely fruit. I give a fuck. Well, Bone Grinder's not, because he can't eat, but... I guess I'll change her thing to dagger. I mean, nobody else has any weapon that they can be proficient in besides Fist and Tooth, so there's no point in changing any of theirs. Even hers might as well be Fist and Tooth for now. Mammoth hunting. Oh man, I gotta think about more than just, oh, I wanna get rid of the Gorm thing. Because I gotta think about how do I get as prepared as possible for the Butcher fight. And I think to be as prepared as possible, I need more fucking Acanthus. So I've gotta go after another, antelope. I just have to. We'll go for the Gorm after that. Our survival limit is so high, our ability to generate survival is so low. Okay, so that's it. We move through, we prepare departing survivors, end the settlement phase. So, she's gonna get 3 survival. Actually, and she's gonna get 1 more from Chaotic. Or Quixotic. And a strength token. Fight the streaming antelope. What's up, Chimerical Jim? I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? He's gonna get 1 survival, sadly. He's gonna get 1 survival. And she's gonna get 1 survival. Oh yeah, and I'm eating the fruit before we go out on our hunt. I should wait and eat the fruit after we face the butcher. Because I don't know how much this is gonna fucking screw us. Let's just not yet. We'll eat the fruit after we face the butcher. I need to get my people's understanding up to 3 so I can get Tinker and start getting a lot more endeavors. Of course, to get Tinker, you have to get their understanding up when they're in settlement phase. If you do it in the other phases, you get these other things, which are actually not that great. Fortunately, nobody has dick for understanding. Which means what I need to be doing is auguries to potentially raise understanding for people, but I never have the extra endeavors, really, to do that. See, if I'd chosen the other principle here, one of these other principles, we would have been getting extra endeavors for our population. But I didn't choose that principle this time. Alright, so I'm not eating the fruit, in fact. I'm just gonna go forth on the next hunt. Which means it's time to save, because the year has now officially ended. And that is where I'm going to end this episode for YouTube. Trying to decide if I want to keep going on the stream and do the next one or not. I don't think so. Well, I haven't streamed very long. Yeah, I will. So anyway, if you're watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere because I'm not done streaming. If you're watching on YouTube, that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Kingdom Death Monster on Tabletop Simulator.